It is Milan Design Week. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Arlene. I am an American woman who moved to Rome in 2008. I recently moved to Milan, and on this channel we talk about all things Italiano, lifestyle, Anguilla, and St. Martin. Today's video is about Milan Design Week. I'm doing voiceover because there was so much noise in the background, also at all the different events. So the first event I went to was for AD Italia, and they were celebrating Uzbekistan art and culture. And it was a really incredible exhibit. Downstairs, you saw all the different crafts. And then upstairs, there was a pavilion in the courtyard. And that's where we had breakfast. And I'm so glad the weather held up. Here's part of the pavilion, and here's a photo of it. It's very striking. Here's me and Caterina Monda. And then I walked over to the Portrait Hotel because in the courtyard they had a very interesting exhibit that was Audi, the car company, and Zaha Hadid architects. And I was trying to figure out how did they get this inside the courtyard, because this is a reflecting pool of water. It was really interesting. And then they also had two cars there, but I'm not really a super big car person. Around the corner is one of my favorite stores in Milan, La Double J. So they recently collaborated with Villa San Michele, which is a Belmont hotel that recently opened after a major renovation. They are in Florence, or I should say above the hills in Florence. Above the hills of Florence. And it's a really beautiful collection. And I appreciate that all the pre-design week Instagram, social media, everything they did not use AI. And I thought this was really cool. The next day, another AD Italia event, this time with Miele, and also people were there from the other ADs all around the world, and it was at Marchesi in the Galleria. So that was really cool. I walked over to Palazzo Acerbi to see the Kelly Wearstler collaboration with H&M. This palazzo is normally closed to the public. I believe this is the first time they've ever opened it, and I had to go, not just for the palazzo, but I was very curious about this collaboration, and I believe the line will be available in stores in September. So I think that's really interesting because she does such high-end residential and commercial. So I'm curious to see what will be available at H&M. I really liked the lamps that I saw, the lighting. I thought it was very interesting, and I'm curious to see what the price points will be. Then I walked over to L'Appartamento by Artmest, and this was one of the most popular events, Milan Design Week. Apparently the line to get in was 3 hours. I actually had an appointment because I was doing a tour of it, and basically it's similar to a show house. Each room had a different theme. So there was a room that was influenced by the city of Rome, one that was influenced by the city of Venice, and it was just beautiful. Like, I understand why it was so popular. It was just incredible. The palazzo itself is remarkable, and everyone went all out. It was really well done. And I also enjoyed meeting other designers and learning more about the artisans that made everything that you see here. This was the Rome room. You can tell by the colors, the rich, deep velvet. It's just gorgeous. And this was the Tuscany Florence room, and the hand-painted wallpaper, beautiful. And I could have stayed in here for hours. But again, it's really popular, so it got quite crowded. Also, I did not shoot this the correct way, but there was also on the top floor a room that was set up like a studio and then a living room. It was basically like an apartment, and this was also a highlight. Gorgeous floral arrangements. They had music playing on the stereo. You felt like you were at your chic friend's very beautiful apartment. Look at this living room. It's gorgeous. Then downstairs, we went back outside, and they had a garden area, which they did not have last year. And I love this table that's coming up, this marble table. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah, I would highly recommend if they have it next year, put it on your list. And then I went over to the Navili district, aka Canal District, to check out Imperfetto Lab to see their work and love this table. And there was a Dutch designer there. That's his coffee table that was made from one slab of granite over to Oasis by Dutch designer Rick Tegelaar. And this was just amazing. It was actually a party. There was a DJ and everything. I think this was like my eighth event of the day, and I was dying. But I'm so glad that I made it over because this was so beautiful to see in person. I cannot believe this is birch wood that is woven. Isn't that something? Pretty interior gate. Went to a pop-up lunch for Soho House, Milan. And I went over to Zucchetti, which is known for their bathroom fixtures. Everybody was looking at this room because it was cool. And it was very, very crowded. I stood upstairs and took a shot looking down, and you can see there's a line to get in. And then I went to the Schumacher party, which was fun. They had a DJ who's up there where the spotlight is. But I really appreciate the vegetable centerpiece. Look at that. It's amazing. And of course, the textiles are gorgeous. Love it. That was a fun night. And I stopped by Dimore Gallery. So normally you would go to their showroom, but this time they had a gallery, which used to be a bank, and they had their furniture there, really beautiful pieces. They are one of my favorite interior design companies or studios, I should say. I love this screen. Isn't this beautiful? Very chic, very sexy. Love it. Yeah, I took this photo the wrong way. Please forgive me. And this is at Janice and C. Beautiful flowers. That was at the Carlton Hotel, that event. Then I went over to Restoration Hardware. I'm sorry, RH. They recently opened in Milan in this beautiful palazzo that they renovated. It's massive. It's like 5 floors. I forget what the square footage is, but it's huge. I'm going to go back at some point, and I would love to check out the cafe, which was not open during Design Week, but the restaurant was. And the scale of the furniture is huge. So I'm very curious to see how RH will do here in Milan and Italy in general. Because if you know anything about the brand, it's not cheap. It's quite expensive. And only a few items are actually made in Italy. So at that price point, they're competing with Italian brands who make everything in Italy. So we shall see. Then later that day, I went to another AD event, AD Italia, Roberto Cavalli party, and that was excellent. Great DJ. The bartenders had a heavy pour, so I stopped at one cocktail. And I bumped into some friends. It was really beautiful and so easy to get around. So different from Rome. Anyway, next up is Hermés. I happened to bump into one of my friends there, and it's so funny because we've been trying to meet up all during Design Week. She lives near me, and we can never get our schedules to sync up. And then I heard someone say my name when I was inside, and I turned around, it was her. This was really beautiful. Like, the craftsmanship is unreal. I can't imagine what the prices are, though. I really like these waste paper baskets. I believe the price was by request, so we can imagine. Beautiful. It was hard to get a good shot of, that table is great. And also this, I love, 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 love. That table was marble. And I was saying it's hard to get a good shot of the tea set because it was so high up. And then they had coffee for us outside. along with cookies shaped like a horse. I went over to Rossana Orlandi, which is always a must during design week. And, the exhibit changes, and it was really interesting. I love these light fixtures. How pretty are those? Beautiful. And then there was a kitchenware company, and these are the choices you can have for the laminate, which I thought was quite pretty. Pretty lamps, interesting bed, outside in the courtyard, which is now a little cafe. This was at Tea Rose. I went to Schumacher to their showroom for a very special breakfast. That was fun. Too many prints going on here. And then Bottega Veneta, there was a pop-up at a floral shop, and I took some pictures of beautiful flowers. And that's it. Thanks for watching.